Every summer has its transfer sagas, but this summer has turned into an all-out auction house. Clubs outbidding each other, presidents making phone calls behind backs, and players sitting back watching their price tags climb by the day. Today, we're covering 10 players who have genuinely sparked bidding wars this window, who wants them, why they want them, what's been bid, and what their clubs are demanding. Some of these numbers will melt your brain. Let's get into it. We start with the hottest saga in world football, Julián Álvarez. Where do we even begin? Real Madrid did something almost unheard of. They published an official statement confirming a rejected bid of 150 million euros. Barcelona lodged their own offer of around 100 million, and Atlético responded with one of the angriest club statements ever written, accusing their rivals of calculated leaks, fake news, and constant disrespect. Two giants, one striker, and a club under siege from both directions. And why the frenzy? Because Álvarez is a World Cup winner entering his prime at 26, a man Diego Simeone has publicly called his best player. Reports say his own wish is Barcelona, who, having wrapped up Anthony Gordon and Karim Adeyemi, have now made him their next priority target. Atlético are clinging to a contract that runs until 2030. Good luck with that. From one nine-figure war to another, Bradley Barcola. PSG have slapped a price of 150 million euros on their winger, a fee that would make him the third most expensive player in history, behind only Neymar and Mbappe. Not bad for a man they signed from Lyon for 45 million in 2023. The two clubs squaring up, Arsenal and Liverpool, with the bookies making Arsenal narrow favourites after losing Morgan Rogers to Chelsea. One report even claims a Saudi club tabled 180 million. Here's why he's on the market at all. Barcola was benched for the Champions League final despite 20 goal contributions in 49 games. He's refusing to extend beyond 2028, and PSG are signing Yan Diomande and Magnus Akliush to replace him. A 23-year-old with 2 Champions Leagues and 3 League One titles openly available. That's how you start a war. Now for the captain everybody wants, Bruno Guimarães. Newcastle's heartbeat, signed from Lyon for around £40 million in 2022, has half of Europe circling. Real Madrid have revived their interest. Manchester City are monitoring, Barcelona are tracking, United held talks. But Arsenal have gone furthest. A £55 million bid rejected, personal terms already agreed according to Fabrizio Romano, and Bruno reportedly telling Newcastle he wants London. Newcastle's answer, £90 million or nothing, plus a club record contract to change his mind. After selling Isak, Gordon and Tonali, losing the man who lifted their Carabao Cup would be unforgivable. That's not a negotiation anymore, that's a siege. Next, the World Cup's breakout teenager, Ayoub Bouaddi. 18 years old, 96 games for Lille already, and the star of Morocco's run to the quarter-finals. Remarkable when you realise he only made his Morocco debut in a pre-tournament friendly, having switched allegiance from France weeks before. Now count the suitors. Manchester City pushing hardest, Arsenal in talks, PSG, Real Madrid, Liverpool, Chelsea and United all hovering. Lille's president is publicly pointing at the Elliot Anderson and Tonali deals, 135 and 120 million euros, as benchmarks, demanding 100 million for an immediate sale or around 80 million with a season-long loan back. Arsenal, City and Chelsea have all reportedly accepted that loan back structure just to stay in the race. When clubs accept your conditions before your price, you've won the auction before it starts. And he's not even the youngest on this list. Say hello to Gilberto Mora, 17 years old, the youngest player at this entire World Cup and already Mexico's youngest ever international, running the midfield to the last 16, where he swapped shirts with Jude Bellingham after that heartbreaking 3-2 defeat. His suitors read like a Champions League draw: Real Madrid, his dream club, Barcelona, Liverpool with serious interest, City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Milan, Bayern and PSG. Manchester United actually withdrew from the race, fearing how expensive the bidding would get. And here's the twist: nobody can sign him until he turns 18 in October because of FIFA's rules on minors. Tijuana have tied him down until 2029 with a tailored release clause, handed him the number 10 shirt and watched his valuation soar past 40 million euros for a kid who can't legally move yet. From the youngest to the freshest news, Manu Kone. This one is moving fast. Corriere dello Sport report Manchester United have agreed personal terms with the Frenchman and are preparing a bid of 50 million euros. Though Roma want closer to 60, a tidy profit on the 18 million they paid Gladbach 2 years ago. But United aren't alone. Atletico had a £34 million bid rejected and haven't given up. Inter nearly signed him last summer, and Arsenal, Chelsea and Liverpool are all credited with interest. Why the queue? Kone started 4 matches at a World Cup so good he benched Aurélien Tchouameni for France, with Patrick Vieira calling him the best midfielder in France. Roma must sell for financial fair play. A club that has to sell a player in demand, an auctioneer's dream. Speaking of Serie A interest, here's a World Cup finalist on the move, Cristian Romero. Tottenham's captain limped off in the World Cup final itself, and by then everyone knew he'd decided to leave after Spurs' nightmare season, barely a year after signing a contract to 2029. Now, 3 clubs are scrapping for him. Inter have opened talks with his camp, Barcelona are his reported preference, and Atletico made contact through Diego Simeone himself. Spurs are holding at €50 million for the man whose colossal performance in Bilbao won them the Europa League against Manchester United. 3 destinations, 1 defender, and a club that knows this is its last chance to cash in. Now to the 2 Englishmen driving the market mad. First, Adam Wharton. Crystal Palace paid Blackburn £18 million for him 2 years ago. Today, after Elliot Anderson went for £116 million and Tonali for £100, Palace have repriced their man and will only sell for a club record fee, with reports valuing him around £80 million. Liverpool and Manchester United lead the chase, Chelsea and Tottenham lurk. An FA Cup winner, a Conference League winner, 7 assists last season, England's smoothest left-footed passer, and every club that missed Anderson now sees Wharton as the next best thing. That's how bidding wars are born. Scarcity. His partner in crime is Alex Scott. Recently, the Bournemouth midfielder rejected a new contract. One day later, Chelsea submitted a formal bid of £64 million. That's how fast this is moving. Arsenal had an approach knocked back last month. Manchester United have reportedly bid too, and City and Spurs are watching. Bournemouth insist he's not for sale. They've just finished 6th, their highest ever, and enter the Europa League. But their £80 million asking price is doing a lot of talking. This is a 22-year-old who won the Under-21 Euros with England, starting 5 of 6 games, signed for £25 million, and now worth triple. The Cherries are about to get very rich or very annoyed. And we finish with the auction nobody saw coming, Franculino Dju, a 21-year-old Guinea-Bissau striker at Midtjylland in Denmark and the subject of a 6-club Premier League scramble. Newcastle, Leeds, Everton, Fulham, Brentford and Manchester United have all scouted him extensively, and no wonder. 22 goals in 33 games last season, the league's top scorer, a Danish Cup winner, 6'1", raised in the Benfica Academy and fully recovered from the knee injury that briefly stalled him. Midtjylland have already rejected €25 million from Saudi Arabia and told everyone the bidding starts above the Danish transfer record. As one report put it perfectly, this isn't a bargain hunt, it's an auction with a high reserve. So there you have it. 10 players, dozens of clubs and hundreds of millions flying around like confetti, from a €150 million striker being fought over by 2 Spanish giants to a 17-year-old nobody can even sign yet, to a Danish-based striker with 6 clubs at his door. That's the beauty and the madness of the modern market. When more than one club wants you, the price stops making sense. So tell me, which of these bidding wars ends in a record fee? And which club do you think overpays? Drop your predictions in the comments, smash that like button, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss a video. Catch you in the next one.